I think a lot of our problems as a society would be solved, and I mean, honestly, just across the board would be solved if we could be comfortable being uncomfortable, which includes like just breathing through fear.
In this episode of Conversations Beyond the Brand, Tashana Thompson sits down with Dr. Rachel Boehm, founder of RB Strategies, helping leaders and teams reduce resistance to change, overcome the high failure rate of change initiatives, and build resilient, high-performing cultures.
How do you believe that influence shaped the way you work with leaders today?
I think it begs for curiosity. Curiosity and judgment can't coexist. I can't be curious about you and judge you at the same time.
Oh, wow.
If I'm so busy judging you for what you think or believe or whatever, like I'm not being curious about why you think or believe them. So that's why I say that all human behavior makes sense if you have enough information. I'm not saying that the behavior is right, but I'm saying it makes sense. And so if you want to fix it, understand why it is happening. Bring like 75% of yourself.
I love that.
A little too much of you can cause a failure of trust. That's when we get people who make a joke because they're so comfortable and they don't realize that another person might be offended. When we get not just stressed but complacent, we show true parts of ourselves that maybe should be left at home, and they cause damage in the workplace.
What have you noticed about the kind of leaders who create that kind of chaos versus those who actually help their employees thrive?
Usually those leaders are insecure.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations Beyond the Brand. I'm your host, Tashana Thompson, and today I am absolutely delighted to have Dr. Rachel Boehm with me. I am so fascinated by human behavior.
You and me both.
And you are obviously an expert and a guru in this space. Your work is where human behavior, leadership, and organizational performance, I feel like they collide.
Yeah.
So Dr. Boehm is the founder of RB Strategies, and she helps leaders and teams reduce their resistance to change. That's a lot. That's a lot. I cannot wait to dive into this conversation. So without further ado, Dr. Rachel, thank you so much for being with me today. I'm so excited to have you.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. And I love chatting about this stuff. So sometimes the best way to make sense of it is just to dig in, so I'm ready to do it.
Yes. And this is like a perfect synergy. Like I'm all about relationships.
Yeah.
And human behavior. People bring their behavior to relationships, right?
All their relationships.
All their relationships. So thank you for being here. And for those of people who do not know you and are not familiar with your brand, please take a moment and introduce yourself.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, as I kind of say, just when I want to be super brief about it, because talking about myself is honestly my least favorite part. I come from like hard academia and the school of hard knocks. So if you know the saying, like been there, done that, got the t-shirt, like just suffice to say, I don't have all of the t-shirts, but I have quite a few. And I have a multidisciplinary background, which has been an unexpected blessing. I really, as I shifted in my career, was concerned that people would think that I didn't have the deep expertise because I had only ever done. What I realized is it allows me to see things that people don't otherwise see. If you've only ever been shown kind of one path, you miss a lot of the color. And it helps me relate to my clients in other ways because I've kind of worked in all these different places with different levels of responsibility or been the receiver of that impact. And then the through line for everything, which I think you can appreciate, right, is like every human has a story. And I believe that all behavior makes sense with enough information. And everything that I have ever done, regardless of what the title of the industry has been, the box that it was put in, it was always about understanding people's stories and then telling it. And that's essentially what we're doing here now. There's a change story happening and someone is on board and someone is not. And so why is that happening? What is the clash? If there is stress getting in the way, which there always is, right? What is the story about the stress? Because that's where the negative feelings come from, is the story about it. So.
Oh, I love that. And the story about it, right? And how you are so framing story into how we work and interact with each other. I think that's, what makes you so masterful at what you do. How do you describe the work that you do when you go into organizations, and describe the type of organizations you work with?
So I work with service-based professions. A lot in the professional services, but not exclusively. Some have been nonprofits, some are residential property management, technology. So it kind of spans. But they all are doing deep work, expansive work, highly educated, fast-paced, deadline-driven, high stakes, emotional labor. There's a lot that they're juggling. And for your audience members that are familiar with the acronym VUCA, right, where we are living in that VUCA world, right, where it's volatile, it's uncertain, it's complex, and it's ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
So people are already in that space. And when you throw a change or constantly shifting deadlines or just a reactive workplace, so I kind of describe it as people come to us because they are leading through a change event, which is like a transition, a business transition, that traditional change management discussion, or kind of constant change, constant chaos. That make they're going through that on top of just living in that VUCA environment.
Right.
So now we've just added fuel to a fire. So those are kind of the who, what, when. How I describe it varies. If terms like emotion regulation or IO psychology were more easily marketable, I could just say that and call it a day. But
right.
no one knows what IO psychology is. And it is such an expansive field, and I'm just like, my niche is one part of it. Some folks who have maybe gone through some of the MBA related work know organizational behavior, which is why I adopted their words.
Yes.
Sell to your audience, right?
Right.
But what I'm really doing is sometimes I feel like teaching Psych 101. Other times it's focused on regulating the emotion, which doesn't mean you're like stress management, get a journal, do breathing. I am not knocking those things, but you need more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Helping people know who they are, their strengths, their weaknesses, their skill gaps, their biases, their blind spots, all of that. How their values can turn into blind spots. Helping them predict the personalities in the room. So not just who they are, but who the other people are.
Right.
And sometimes when I'm in a safe space and I feel like people won't judge me for being too crass, I'll say, like, I help people keep their heads on straight in the workplace.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so needed, especially now in this highly volatile, I love your acronym, in this highly volatile space that we're in, not just in workplaces, but in the world, that, we're bringing all of that to workplaces, right?
Yeah.
And leaders are having to negotiate some challenges that they may not have experienced before.
Yeah. I mean, leadership is hard.
Very hard.
It is a disservice to leaders and to, honestly, employees, because it sets employees up with bad expectations, which just makes the situation harder.
Right.
Say that leaders are born. They are not born. They are made. And they are made with, like, the way we learn any new skill. You fall over a million times before you can ride a bike or walk, right? You, like, when you had to teach yourself how to eat and you got food everywhere. Like, it takes effort and mastery to learn new things.
Right.
That is leadership, and it comes with a lot more responsibility and emotions than so many other things. Like, you can survive without riding a bike.
Right.
Anyways.
What are some of the problems that these leaders are bringing to you? Like when they call you in, Dr. Rachel, like, and their hair is on fire, what is it on fire about?
Yeah. Well, there is what they think the problem
Of course.
is.
Yeah.
And then there is what the problem is. Sometimes I think about it like the old TV show House, and I'll give more than this for the people that don't know it. But if for those that do, or who want a good old TV show that I feel like the medical dramas. You're smiling, so you know what I think.
I love it.
House was great. He lacked some soft skills, but his expertise was figuring out the root cause of symptoms that no other doctor could figure out. So the patient is presenting with X, Y, and Z that on the surface make no sense or seem to make sense, like, oh, these are the symptoms. It has to be this. Why isn't the treatment working? What is wrong? Well, House is like, well, that's not, then it's the wrong diagnosis. Like, that's not it.
Right.
And, miraculously over the course of the episode, right, he can figure out, oh, it's this random disease from whatever country that, like, he gets to the root.
Right.
That's what I have to help my clients do with step one is why all my employees are really stressed out. Like, I don't know why. Okay, what do you think the issue is? I don't know. Like, they just don't know how to handle stress, I guess. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So what are they stressed about? Not really sure. Okay. Have you asked them? Well, I hear so-and-so thing. So, okay, sometimes they aren't running an employee listening survey. They're not getting that information. So they're piecing it together from what they hear. Great. Other times they are, but the questions maybe aren't going as deep as they need them to be. So great. So, well, I just bought the plate. Like, I'm the new leader, or they have new direct reports, or the person we hired to be their direct manager isn't working out. We're on our third try. And also we've brought them all back to the office, and also AI, and also this. So now the average, right, is they're running 5 types of change transitions at once at various scale, like,
Right.
And employees are just like, I just like want to walk into work and sit down and do my job. Why are you making it so hard for me to do that? And I feel like 90% of the time it's communication. People are talking past, over, under, you're having multiple conversations at the same time that are derailing each other. There's just a lack of clarity. And so when they're coming to me because they feel like there's some type of resistance to the change, or people are burning out, or what I would call change fatigue, but they're just going to use words like engagement is down, or there's tensions, or there's a lot of strong personalities that are clashing. That's my favorite. Or we're worried about burnout, or like overwhelm, exhaustion, all of those things. Or just like everybody seems really stressed out. Like, people are too stressed to work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, all human behavior makes sense with enough information. So let's get the information. Let's find out why, and then let's try to fix it.
Do you feel like that leaders sometimes lack the curiosity, or are they too busy to be curious? Or
yeah,
I'm not going to say that I think they don't care, because I don't know that that's always the case. But you and I both know the expectations and the pressure that are put on leaders, sometimes stopping to be compassionate and to.
Yeah. I don't think it's an intentional thing. Certainly there are exceptions to that.
Absolutely.
Right. But from my experience, including as an employee who has worked for some people that, like, it took me a long time to realize they weren't actually jerks. Like, it was the context of their situation and their lack of skills for coping. I mean, it's that. It's we are all human. And so, yeah, exactly. For better or worse. And, leaders have, typically the people who become leaders, they have a bias for action. They are uncomfortable with ambiguity.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, they want to go at, like, what's the action plan? Here we go. There's a problem. Great. I solved it. What's the next problem? Let me put it out. Okay, great. And they feel good in that space. They need to slow down to go fast. And when you're going too fast for the trust of your team to keep up with you, for your stakeholders to keep up with you, which includes your employees, you miss compassion. You miss bringing them to the table. You miss seeing Who are they? What is their capacity for this? What is the context of their world that could, even if they wanted to buy into this, will make it impossible for them to comply? Am I really solving the right problem? And I can give examples for all of that to help, but I'll pause.
Please. No,
Okay.
please give us examples because, I think of this whole frame of like we bring our whole selves to work, but how much of that are employers and leaders concerned with, and should they be concerned with?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, so let's start with that one. So I I get the intention of that phrase, but it causes problems.
okay,
Bring like 75% of yourself.
I love that.
Right? Like, and this like that's coming from conversation with Frances Frye at Harvard Business School. So a little too much of you can cause a failure of trust. That's when we get people who make a joke because they're so comfortable and they don't realize that another person might be offended by it. Right? When we get not just stressed but complacent,
Yes.
comfortable, we show true parts of ourselves that maybe should be left at home, and they cause damage in the workplace.
This is so good. I don't want to cut you off, but
No.
this like lends me to this thought of like this whole premise of vulnerability, which
Yeah.
I lean into quite a bit. But you're right that there is a fine line between bringing your whole self and being authentic
Yeah.
and losing that trust and losing that trust.
Yeah. There's this is also from Frances Frye. I mean, she just is a great communicator. And we all stand on the shoulders, right? So her kind of trust triangle is authenticity, logic, and empathy. And what we're talking right now about, and it's just a nice way it's a clean way to think about trust, right? When you earn trust or lose it, it's because of a alignment or mismatch with those three. You need them to be in balance. Like if it was a three-legged stool, you need the stool not to wobble, right? So if you have too much authenticity, right? That is an issue. If you don't have enough, that's an issue. It kind of, to me, ties into the idea of when we're talking about now behavior in the workplace, letting go of the golden rule and moving into the platinum rule of treat others how they want to be treated.
Ooh.
And this ties into leadership, right? Leaders, well, they want to solve the problem the way they want to solve the problem, but the problem requires other people to take action. That may not be how they need to be communicated to. Or this, you know what I mean? Like it's not just you.
Right.
If you need to increase recognition for your team, ask them how they want to be recognized. Don't assume that they want it the same way you do. When I brought on my assistant, one of the first questions I asked her was, how do you like to be recognized for good work? I'm so glad I asked. She's fine with an email. I want a parade. I want flower. Like I want
gifts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had to learn that the hard way. Like I did a presentation one time and people were like, that was great. Thank you. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like calling my friend. I'm like, I guess it went terribly. Well, why? Well, all they said was like, that was good. Thank you. And they were on to the next thing. And they're like, well, was the presentation over? And I'm like, well, yeah. They're like, and I'm like, but they didn't say it was amazing. I didn't change their lives. You know what I mean? Like my need for a certain type of feedback was blinding me to see that they gave it the way they are used to receiving it, as opposed to like how, you know what I mean? And like, so how do other people like to receive feedback? How do they need to be communicated with? How do they need to be engaged with?
Right.
It's a two-way street. I'm not trying to put it only on leaders, but it's kind of, you own more of it because you're the leader.
Right.
Before we jump back in, have you ever felt like running your business means wearing so many hats? Like you're juggling everything at once? That's why we're proud to have Beyond Business Solutions as the sponsor of this episode. They help entrepreneurs like you stay organized, save time, and focus on what really matters, growing your business. If you're looking for your very own branding and marketing team that truly cares about helping you succeed, visit beyondsolutions.biz. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Oh, this is so good. And it takes our conversation in such a different place than I had planned.
Well, we
But
can talk about whatever you want.
I really want to lean into like this three-legged stool of trust that you talked about. And I see it so much in my work as leaders, are establishing their personal brands and posted on LinkedIn. And, I was just, as I scroll through my timeline on LinkedIn, like this morning, even, I'm like, some people have went really, really far into the authenticity and vulnerability to a place where now I trust your credibility.
You do trust or you don't trust?
I do trust the credibility.
Okay. Yeah.
Where you mentioned earlier that trust
Yeah.
begins to lean because the authenticity, it's not in balance with the logic and the empathy that you mentioned. I love this framework. I can't wait to go study it.
Yeah, she I do want to give credit. She's great. And that was a really helpful. I mean, if you say trust, that is so vague. Like we know it, but we don't know it.
No.
So if you say, okay, well, everything revolves around trust. If you want to lead your team through change, if you want them to trust you through turbulence, you need them to trust you. You have to build that climate now before you need them to have it. Everything builds on that.
Right.
So if nothing else, start now. Not like yesterday. But to say build trust in your organization, or people will trust you when they know, like, trust, refer, right? Like know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
People will hire you when they trust you. Great. Well, why don't you trust me? I'm nice. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Haven't we connected? And so what she's found to create it in that clean entry point is when you earn it. I'm talking about earning, not giving. When you earn it, it's through one of those three things. When you lose it, it's typically because of like I said, a misalignment between one of those three things. So do people feel like you are, for empathy, for example, do you have their best interest in mind? Are you the car salesman? Are you the trusted advisor? So to speak, with stereotypes, right?
Right.
As the leader, are you pushing this change because you want more money? Or because it's what's best for the organization that pays them and puts the food on their table? If people do not believe that you are considering them, they are not going to trust you. The logic one could be one of two things. You may have great ideas, but you cannot communicate them for you know what. So how can somebody like I don't know what she's saying. I fall into this trap. Like that's mine. Other people, it's like, I mean, you're a good communicator, but like, I don't believe you at all. Like that makes no sense. That logic is like, just follow that thought a little bit more and you'll realize, right? Then the authenticity is what we've been talking about. Like, I need enough to know you, but I don't want all of it.
Oh, that's good. Because I think that now, and that's the one that I can get out of alignment with. We overshare.
Yeah.
We overshare, especially if we're comfortable and complacent. So that's so powerful. This is such a great conversation. Like I was mentioning, sometimes I'm too authentic and too vulnerable. So if you're out of alignment, as I watch many people be, this is so like revolutionary. And I think it's going to be life-changing for the leaders that listen to us, and how we show up.
Yeah.
Because we all want to show up with authority and compassion and empathy and have our teams and clients trust us.
Yeah. And what gets in the way of that is something that I call, and I stole this from Hogan Assessments, which I'm certified through for some of the assessments I always run with my leaders, is it's called strategic self-awareness. Self-awareness in general is lovely, but what are you going to do with it? And also, right, it's like having an Aura ring or a Whoop band or whatever. Like, it's lovely, you're collecting data, but what are you going to do with it? Like, most people don't ever look at it, or they look at it for a little bit and they stop. So it's one thing to like know about yourself. It's also another thing to know who you think you are. And it's a very different thing to know how other people experience you.
Oh, yeah.
And usually they're different.
Very different.
And so that ties into all of this too, especially with, I think with all of it really. Do you want those things, all of those beautiful things that you said the leaders you work with, the leaders that I work with want, you and I want. I want you to know who I am. I want you to like me. And by that, I mean respect me. Like, you don't have to want to get a beer with me, but like, I would want you to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if it made sense, like hire me if that's the type of conversation, refer, like whatever, right? Like the know, like, trust, refer. What gets in the way of that is these blind spots we have where, with Hogan, when I get my report on the individual, I see all of these amazing strengths. And then I see how under pressure, those strengths become their liabilities.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And their values can even become those blind spots, which make them, hire the wrong people, promote the wrong people, take a change initiative that is actually the wrong answer.
Right.
Right. They're derailed, their strength of diligence. Right. I always use this one because most people can really get it. Like, I want my accountant and my attorney to be very diligent.
Right.
As managers, they might become, I'm not saying mine are, just if they're listening, but they might become micromanagers under pressure if they are not aware that they can do that.
Right.
Right. The idea person, this is where sometimes the CEO, if they're like the visionary CEO, right, gets it like, oh, well, what if we do this? 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 And everybody's like, I hate them.
Yes.
Like, I can't focus. What are we doing? What rabbit are we chasing? Like, I can't keep, like, just pick one,
Right.
And so it's understanding not just who we think we are, but how we come across to other people on our average days and when we are under pressure.
Right.
And going back to where we started this conversation, who isn't under pressure?
I haven't found anyone yet.
Yeah. You can better manage it, but we are all under responsibilities.
I love that. It's so good. I'm going to shift us because I could like literally stay here for the next 30 minutes because I'm so fascinated by all of it. I have heard you say more than once, and you've said it in this conversation already, that you really worked with a lot of jerks and you have reframed it. And I love that. How did those early experiences shape your understanding of leadership?
Yeah. Well, one of the first ones was a big doozy, so we can pick that one apart. But even before that, so I had a job in high school. My first one was Old Navy. It was fine. After that, I got a job working at it was called the Diet Center. It was I don't know. I didn't know at the time it was a franchise. I think it was a franchise. Anyways. And I was in the back stocking like the new shipment of diet shakes. Like, you know, you had some out on the front for clients to buy, then you had a bunch in the back, right, out of the boxes. And I was on this step stool, and I put like just one more from the, you know, like I was putting them on the back shelves, and the whole shelving system fell off the wall onto me and knocked me on the floor off the step stool.
Oh God.
It was a loud noise, as you can imagine. The boss came around, opened the supply room door, stood in the door frame and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I think so." They're like, "Okay, clean it up." And that was the end of the conversation. One of my jobs after college, I was an assistant to a literary agent. And the first, you know, week or whatever of training, he was fine. And then it was like on a Friday, they said, "Hey, we got bought. You report here on Monday." Like that was our transition.
Oh, wow.
After the acquisition. And I showed up to the new place. We had like 30 minutes or whatever, maybe an hour with HR. Then we're told where our new cubicles were. Went up to the whatever floor. My boss, who I still barely knew, was so awful. I forgot he had used to be nice.
What?
He would yell at me all the time on the phone, in the office, in front of other people. At the time, you had to listen in on every phone call that your agent was making, so you could send them through Skype, kind of like Devil Wears Prada. Like
that's immediately came to mind.
Like his kid's name is, you know, Sarah and whatever. Like yeah, on it, so that they never had to tell you to send something, email. Like you just were supposed to hear it and know like what to do based on the conversations you're hearing, or fill them in like, "Oh, you last talked to them in February," or whatever. Apparently I was also supposed to run bill, like, so there was all these other things that I was supposed to do that I wasn't trained to do. And so I would hear him talk about my appearance, like, "Well, how cute is your new assistant?" "Well, not as, you know, kind of cute, about the same as the last one." Like just another one was, "You make me look like an effing," I mean, he actually said it, "idiot every day." So to the point where and you were only allowed to go to the bathroom on your lunch break, which was mandated between 12 and 1 p.m., like industry standard. So anyways, because they needed you at the desk to answer the phones, because if you didn't answer the phone, the agent had to answer the phone, and they were too important to answer their own phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could get another agent to cover for you if it was an emergency, but they had their own agent to answer, so you really didn't want to do that, right? Meanwhile, I was
so Devil Meets Prada.
freezing cold there. So I was getting to the point where I was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. I was crying on the way to work. I was crying on the way home from work, and I was crying on my lunch break, either hiding in a bathroom stall or near the freight elevator. The head of the mailroom pulled me aside to like, "I've seen a lot of people go through here, you know, like, here's what, you know, like, you can do this." Like, he's giving me motivational speeches. And finally my dad was like, "You're out. Like, this is ridiculous." I went into HR. He told me, "Tomorrow's Friday. You're not even giving notice. Like, this is what you say." And I practiced that. I memorized it. I requested the call with HR, the chief of HR. It's my first time working in a place that had HR.
Right.
I went down and I told her, like, "I'm leaving. I'm not giving notice. This is my last day. These are the issues that have been happening." And she told me, "Well, we told you when you got here that there would be things that may be challenging or make you feel uncomfortable. And if you can't handle it, this isn't the place for you. You can leave. I'll tell your boss." And by the time I got up to the whatever floor, my desk, my boss was in the doorway, and he's like, "Can I talk to you?" And so then I left. And that felt like such a moment of weakness for me at the time, because it had been framed as it's all my fault and I guess I can't handle it and other people can stick it out and that's just the way this town is. And HR isn't even on my side.
No, they never.
Right? And so fast forward, it took multiple years and 2 jobs and bosses later for me to like be able to just go to the bathroom without asking for permission as like a grown woman. Like I finally had a boss was like, you don't have to ask me, like just go. Like, please stop asking me.
Because that's traumatizing to a young person. Like this is your first job.
Yeah. It took me a very long time to trust HR again. And I think mostly I do that now because I work alongside them, you know? But there are some amazing HR people. Like HR isn't what it used to be, but you know, they are also still like they're there for the company.
You work for the company. Yeah.
Right. So she did her job. I didn't sue. I didn't know I could sue actually. But people, you should just assume if you're a leader that every single employee you have, including yourself, has baggage from past work. You should just assume that.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point of like, not like some, but not all authenticity. Like, I'm not saying like, tell me your life story. What traumas have you had at work? Like, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying like, get to know them to the best that you can that makes sense for the relationship in the workplace. Or empower their direct supervisors to get to know them so that they can understand, so that they can get curious and where is this resistance coming from? Why might they be struggling with this? Why are they making certain assumptions? Oftentimes, we are assuming that we can't ask a question because our job 2 jobs ago didn't allow us to ask those questions. Not because the current place doesn't allow it. I hear all the time from the manager, well, I didn't know they wanted that. They didn't ask. And the employees are like, I didn't know I could ask for that. And so now we're just like assumptions are getting in the way. Right? Be clear with what is expected. What are the norms of the organization? If you feel like you've told people 3 times that they can give feedback and they aren't, it doesn't mean they're stupid. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have hired someone that you thought was stupid.
That's
good. It
good.
means there's a reason that they're not telling you.
That's so good. That's so good. That is some pretty traumatic work experience.
Yeah, it was a doozy.
And now you've, obviously had many other experiences since then. What have you noticed about the kind of leaders who create that kind of chaos that you talk so much about in your work versus those who actually help their employees thrive?
Usually those leaders are insecure. In my experience.
Okay.
Sometimes they're overconfident, but oftentimes in my experience, they're insecure. There is a story they are telling themselves about why they got the job that is or is not accurate, the level of proof that they need to give, whether people are trusting them or not. Will they measure up? So I think, for example, the gentleman that I mentioned, I think what happened is he was a big fish in a small pond, and then we had a merger or an acquisition or whatever. And he became a minnow in an international pond. And I think that he couldn't handle that. He didn't have the coping skills because none of us are taught them unless we go through coaching, which typically we pay for.
Right.
Or therapy.
Right.
And so every mistake that I made as a new employee made him look bad in his mind. And it is my fault, not his, not because he didn't train me, because I didn't know to do it. It's easier for him to assume it's that person's fault, the other person's fault, than our fault, right?
Right.
And we're all capable of that. I'm not saying like,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
we're being clear. I was very clear to myself,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's how I ended up seeing it differently. And I see that a lot with other clients, you know, we all have cognitive distortions, like wrong-term thinking. We're making assumptions. We're scared. We're nervous. Like our success is tied to the success as it is. We bear the responsibility of our employees' survival.
Absolutely.
You know, and so there's a lot there to be insecure about. Now, some people are overconfident, and
Do
they
you
say,
believe it's truly overconfidence or is it pseudo?
well, wait, what do you mean by pseudo?
Is is it insecurity mask its confidence? Are they
Yeah.
the whole fake it till you make it? Um,
Yeah. No, like, cause no, cause, well, for me, what I was including those people in the insecurity.
in the insecurity.
It may
So
come
you believe
across.
believe people are truly overconfident.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. I'm more talking about the percentage that we call the Dunning-Kruger effect in psychology, where, you know, you think you're amazing, like you have 100, like your skill are graded 100% on this task, and it's actually, or that like this capability, and it's actually like an 80, you know, um, versus say the imposter thinking where you think that you're a 20%, but you're 100%.
Got it. Got it. I thank you for making that distinction
Yeah.
because I always like when I look at people that appear overly confident, you can kind of see the cracks.
Yeah.
I always wonder, it's like, are you just faking it to make yourself? But I love that you make that distinction for me. That helped me a whole lot. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think, I don't know, I've been through so much, I've seen so much. Like I kind of think it's a coping mechanism for those people. Like I don't think they're going like, let me beat my chest, you know.
Right.
Though I feel small. I think it's like I'm supposed to walk in the room and be the CEO. And I feel like a mouse.
Mm,
So I need to like put on the big girl pants or whatever and like walk in the room and act like I think a CEO acts.
act like I think a CEO acts.
Yeah. Not how I would authentically act as a CEO.
That's good. That's really good. So I want to shift us a bit and talk about where your fascination with human behavior started.
That
What
jerk
sparked
off. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious. But what sparked your interest?
I've always been interested in people. I started in theater, and music, and you know, so much of that is storytelling and like telling of people's stories, fake or real.
Mhm.
I've always been interested in history, which is just a treasure trove of humans supporting or clashing. And then in high school, I had just the true honor of taking this psychology class with, still remember her name, Mrs. Osborne. And there was this one day, I mean, I found it all so interesting. Um, and I want to tell you about this one day, but I think just to step back and give a little bit more context to that so you can see like why these seeds planted so deeply. I was always felt that I was on the outside looking in.
Okay.
So, you know, first grade, I had teachers telling me I was stupid and I couldn't focus. Um, in grade 9, same thing. Grade 9, when I was 9 in grade 3, same thing. And then I started to get bullied for being chubby. That turned into yo-yo dieting starting at 10, which led to me actually gaining a lot of weight over the course of the next few years. And just being just always like, even when I was good at athletics, like I couldn't see it because girl of the 90s, right? Athletes were certain things and you looked a certain way or you were not that. It doesn't matter if you're actually doing it. So like I quit basketball, like I quit swimming, I quit basketball, like I quit all of these things, and I went into the only place where I'd ever felt that I belonged. It was the only thing that I'd ever been told I was good at, which was like the fine arts. And I always felt like I was on the outside looking in, and that the only reason I enjoyed it was to escape myself and tell other people's stories.
Oh, wow.
Right? So then I go into the psychology class. And it's like, what makes people tick? And why are you and I different? And like, why are we the same? And, you know, the small percentage of us that is different from each other is such, like, makes such a huge ripple. Like, it's really incredible. We are mostly the same.
Right.
Right? And yet the little piece, like, it's such a big piece, but a small piece. It's amazing. And there was this one day where there was a kid in the class, I forget the question that brought it up, but this kid in the class was like, yeah, at night we go around the table, we go around the dinner table and tell everybody like about our day. Like a win and I mean, he didn't use these words, right? But like a win, a loss.
High and low. Yeah.
Yeah, high and low. And he's like, and my mom is so annoying because all she ever complains about is stupid stuff like the grocery store. This was the one he used then. The grocery store didn't have the right kind of bread. And he's like, it's just bread. And our teacher was just like, how does your mom spend her day? She probably asked him, or like, well, what does your mom do for a living? Like, is she a stay-at-home mom? And she like have a job? And he's like, she's a stay-at-home mom. Okay, so her job is to take care of you and have like it's a traditional like
yeah.
And so her identity is wrapped up in whether or not you feel taken care of and you like the dinner that she makes and you like your favorite is this one bread and they didn't have it. And you now understand why she's upset about that. And he was just like, whoa. I mean, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And she's like, everybody has their own reality. And what she meant by that was not like, okay, like mental challenges reality, but we are all living in our world where something that negatively impacts me, like will throw me off course.
Right.
You may be like, wow, that was a challenge. Cool. Because of all the other things, right? And that just always stood with me. So when I was trying to make sense of all the things that I was in the workplace that I had gone through and my personal life that I had gone through, and then looking for the career that I actually wanted, it kept coming back to that.
Right.
And that sort of became the crux for everything else that I did.
Oh, that's so good. And it's so amazing how I'm glad you went there because that was like literally my next question about your high school teacher because I did read that. Like understanding how she helped you to understand that everybody has their own truth, right?
Great way to
And
say it.
their perception is their reality and it influences how we do everything. So, how do you believe that influence shaped the way you work with leaders today?
I think it begs for curiosity. Right? I mean, so curiosity and judgment can't coexist. I can't be curious about you and judge you at the same time.
Oh, wow. That's
right?
good.
I steal all my best stuff from other people.
Don't we all?
We all stand on the shoulders.
Right.
So, but they can't. If I'm so busy judging you for what you think or believe or whatever, like I'm not being curious about why you think or believe them. So that's why I say that all human behavior makes sense if you have enough information. I'm not saying that the behavior is right. There is absolutely behavior that is wrong.
Absolutely.
Like in no way am I approving it.
But you're saying it makes sense.
But I'm saying it makes sense. And so if you want to fix it, understand why it is happening so that you can fix it and fix it faster.
Right. And to that end, you talked earlier about the strategic self-awareness.
Yeah.
And I know that your approach really centers around emotional control. and that strategic self-awareness. Why is this so essential for leaders that are navigating change?
Well, for one, sometimes the change is coming. Sometimes leaders jump on a change initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And the story they are telling themselves, they want to do it for themselves and they find data to support it. An example being, right, like the return to office. This is a scenario I'm using in an upcoming training.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled from reality. So you want to do a return to office, and you say it's for more engagement, better collaboration, better productivity, the buzzwords, right?
Yeah.
And you find data that says that supports that, namely that, well, other CEOs are doing it and they say that it's going to improve engagement, collaboration, productivity.
Right.
Therefore, it makes sense. We need to have those things. We want to keep up. So let's do it. It was better back then, anyways. Okay, did you bother to survey your team? Did you, like, where are you at in terms of productivity right now relative to, say, pre-pandemic? If you would bother to do that and ask yourself, why do I really want this RTO, which is why it's so important sometimes for leaders to hire outside objective people that can
Right.
come in and like call you on it, and like really dig, like, why? You would realize you wanted it because you feel more comfortable leading a workplace with everybody in the same space because you only know how to lead to FaceTime. You don't know how to measure to performance. You feel more comfortable with people in the office, and this feels scary with people. You have to trust them. That's scary.
Oh my gosh.
And so
That's
now you
a whole
wonder why
episode.
your team hates you and
Yep.
performance has gone down and doors are closed. You told them that all the extra work and effort they were putting in when they were remote wasn't enough, and you have to bring them back in so that productivity can go up. So that's one reason. You have to know, like,
Oh my God. Like,
it helps to know who you are and what your preferences are, but it also helps to so that you can either take action on them and make sure you're in a job that you love that will work for you.
right.
The assessment that I run from Hogan can help us understand the work environments that you will thrive in, that you will not thrive in, and that you will create if you are the leader.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be helpful to know and to have those psychometrics on the people that you may hire?
Absolutely. And you know what? There's so much, and I feel like we, we definitely need a part two
I would
because
love that.
that whole return to office is a whole episode. Um, I have so many questions about like how you help leaders to regulate their emotions, but what you're saying is like all this assessing and really care that you have to put into navigating change effectively, care and empathy. We live in a world where some of those things are no longer popular, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to, for 2 minutes, I wish we had more time,
Yeah, sure.
kind of sit in how does your work, or is it challenging working with organizations when care and empathy are not as popular anymore?
Well, what's interesting, so it's a challenging question because the people that end up saying yes to me, they
They do care about
they
this.
do care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I was leading a workshop where, I mean, the people that were in it, the person running the workshop brought me in to speak, but they didn't bring me in to speak.
Mhm.
And there was definitely like, I hate this shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're going to pivot now, you know? I think people, it's uncomfortable and we don't know how to handle discomfort. I think a lot of our problems as a society would be solved, and I mean, honestly, just across the board would be solved if we could manage, if we could be comfortable being uncomfortable, which includes like just breathing through fear.
There's so much. Breathing through fear and being comfortable with being uncomfortable, which no one is.
You can get
Well,
better.
people are.
Yeah. Well, so athletes are. Good,
That's true.
good athletes are. Stage performers are. So my dad said this one time, and I mean, it was amazing to hear. He was talking to someone about athletes. Essentially, he was talking about somebody like athletes versus stage performance. And he said, you know, the athlete has the entire game to make up for a missed basket. Me, who's talking about, have 1 second to hit the first note perfectly. And if I do not do that, I lose you. I don't get a do-over. Theater, live theater,
Oh yeah.
it is, if you've ever seen someone, I have seen someone who is phenomenal in the middle of a performance blank completely and have to walk off stage and then go back out and finish it. I mean, it is a terrifying thing when you think about it.
Absolutely.
And it is uncomfortable. And that they do, but they do it. I'm uncomfortable. Why? Because I care. Okay, I can care and be uncomfortable and use that energy, that, you know, heart race, the sweaty, like I can use that to channel the energy I am feeling, the emotion I am feeling, and put it into the words and actions. If I cannot do that, I can breathe. You can change your emotions by changing what you pay attention to. So if you sit there and tell yourself, oh my God, my heart is racing. Like, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared. Like, this is awful. This could be terrible. Like, I don't know what to do. Well, yeah, absolutely. You're going to be freaking out. You're going to forget the words on the stage. You're going to miss the note. You're going to miss the play. But you're like, oh my God, my heart is racing. My palms are sweating. My shoulders are up to my ears. Okay. I am readying myself for action. I am like my body is showing up for me so that I have it in me to do something because I care. Cool. I'm excited. Let's go. That is very different. It is the same feeling inside you, but now it's packaged differently in a way that you can more use it. And that's kind of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I could talk to you forever. I have so many, like I've been taking little notes, and
we can do a part 2.
We have to do a part 2.
I love talking with you too. So
I love this.
Others find it. I hope it resonates for others listening.
I know that it's going to resonate so much. And don't worry, we're going to come back and talk about being too vulnerable and too much authenticity and getting comfortable. Like really, I think that you can share so much practicality in getting and helping us to shift to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like we're going to sit there. Okay. I'm okay. But before you go, I'd like to have a little fun with you.
Yeah, sure.
You'll allow it. We always play a quick lightning round. So first question, your go-to coffee or tea order?
Decaf coffee.
Okay. Black?
Black.
Okay, cool.
Unless it's not good and then I have to doctor it.
Okay. What is one truth that you're standing in during this season?
Ooh. Lightning round. It's okay that I don't know everything.
Love it. What is your go-to mantra?
Whatever happens, I'll handle it.
Love it. And what is a book that you recommend to leaders?
Teaching Smart People How to Think by Chris Argyris.
Oh, that is good. Oh, I've so enjoyed you. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my God, thank you.
Your work just reminds us so much about how people are the essence of everything
Yeah.
and how their behavior really impacts our organizations and how we can better show up as leaders. So thank you so much.
Thank
If you
you.
enjoyed this conversation, I encourage you to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And until next time, stay rooted, stay connected, and stay in relationship. Bye.
Bye.